The forge was quiet for once. Finn stood at his anvil, but his hammer had stopped mid-swing. He was staring at the half-finished blade in front of him like it held answers to questions he hadn't asked yet. I had been watching him for a while from the doorway. He didn't notice me. There was something in his eyes I recognized. The same look I'd seen in my own reflection, in another life, when duty and desire pulled in different directions. He's been standing like that for 10 minutes. The Finn I know doesn't stand still. He hammers. He grumbles. He moves. Something's wrong. I found him sitting on a crate behind the forge, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of orange and purple. I sat down beside him without saying a word. We watched the stars begin to appear in silence. Then, quietly, he started talking. "Do you ever feel like you're supposed to be someone else?" he asked. "Like the life everyone planned for you isn't the one you want?" I knew that feeling better than anyone. I'd lived it twice. He told me his secret: he didn't want to be a blacksmith. He wanted to be an adventurer. To explore ruins. To fight monsters. To see the world beyond Sunhollow. But his family needed him. The forge was his legacy. How could he abandon that? I put my hand on his shoulder and said, "Who says you have to choose? Do you ever feel like you're supposed to be someone else? Like the life everyone planned for you isn't the one you want?" "More than you know, Finn. More than you know. I want to see the old ruins in the Whisperwood. I want to know what's beyond the mountain pass. I want to hold a real sword, not just make them for other people. But the forge is my family's legacy. Dad worked his whole life to build it. How can I just leave? Who says you have to choose? A blacksmith who's also been an adventurer? That's not abandoning your legacy. That's bringing something back to it." The next night, after the village had gone to sleep, we met at the forge. I had a plan. A way to give Finn a piece of the adventurer's path without abandoning his craft. Earth magic. The foundation of all reinforcement spells. If Finn could learn to enhance metal with mana, his blacksmith work would become legendary. And more importantly, he'd have a foot in both worlds. The forge was dark except for a single lantern. Finn stood at his anvil, nervous but determined. "Earth magic listens to those who respect it," I told him. "And you've spent years shaping metal. You already understand its language." He didn't believe me. But he was willing to try. Earth magic is about patience, stability, and pressure. It's not flashy like fire or graceful like wind. But it's the strongest foundation magic there is. You look like you're trying to lift the entire forge. Relax. Think of the mana like water flowing through your arms. Gentle. Steady. There. That's it. You're doing it, Finn. You're channeling mana. I can feel it. The metal. It's like I can feel what it wants to be. He's a natural. 14 years of working metal has already trained his mana pathways without him knowing it. If he keeps practicing, he could be one of the finest reinforcement mages in the kingdom. A week of secret practice. Every night, after the forge closed, we trained. Finn's progress was remarkable. His earth magic affinity was naturally strong. All those years of shaping metal had prepared his soul without him knowing. But the real breakthrough came when he combined his magic with his smithing. He was working on a simple knife. Nothing special. Just a utility blade for the village. Then, without thinking, he channeled earth magic into the hammer blow. The blade didn't just form, it transformed. The edge was sharper than any blade he'd ever made. The metal had a faint brownish sheen, denser and stronger than ordinary steel. He stared at the finished blade for a long time. Then he looked at me with an expression I'll never forget. "Lien. I think I just made my first magic item. Remember, let the mana follow the hammer. Don't force it. The metal will tell you where it needs to be struck. The edge, it's like the metal decided to be sharper. I didn't even have to try that hard. It just happened. Try cutting this. Word of Finn's exceptional craftsmanship spread through the village. Farmers brought him broken plows and walked away with tools that didn't just work better, they seemed to last longer, cut cleaner, hold together stronger. Finn started making small enchantments on his regular work. A reinforcing touch here, a sharpening enhancement there. Nothing flashy. Nothing that would draw attention from outside the village. Our secret training continued. And with each session, Finn grew more confident. He started sketching his own designs. Adventuring gear inspired by the stories he'd heard, lightweight but strong. Practical but beautiful. One day, he told me, I'm going to make a sword worthy of a hero. You already have, I told him. You just don't know it yet. For plow blades this week. Each one stronger than the last. I'm not just repairing tools anymore. I'm making them better. One day, I'm going to make a sword worthy of a hero. And maybe I'll be the one to wield it. You already are, Finn. A hero isn't defined by the sword they carry. It's defined by the choices they make. And you chose to keep dreaming. We sat on the hilltop overlooking the village, the same spot where Finn had first confessed his secret. This time, he wasn't looking down. He was looking ahead. I'm going to learn everything you can teach me, he said. And when I'm ready, I'll become an adventurer. But I'll always come back to the forge. It's not a cage, I told him. It's your launchpad. He laughed. Actually laughed. I realized I'd never heard him laugh before. We sat in comfortable silence, watching the stars wheel overhead. Finn Brennan, the reluctant blacksmith's apprentice who secretly dreamed of adventure. And me, Aldrich Starshine, the reincarnated sage who secretly dreamed of a quiet life. Maybe we were both going to get what we wanted. Just not the way we expected. I'm going to learn everything you can teach me. And when I'm ready, I'll become the best adventurer blacksmith this village has ever seen. I've taught archmages and trained legendary heroes. But right now, teaching a grumpy blacksmith's apprentice to believe in himself? This might be the lesson I'm proudest of.